Good morning, everyone. Let's get this up so you can see my screen here. First off, just want to say thank you to everyone for coming to join myself, and lucky to have Tim Swoboda here with us from SILAC. He's our external rep here at or with SILAC. I'm gonna just kind of we haven't done one with SILAC in a couple of weeks or months, I guess maybe. So really want to just get back in front of you regarding SILAC and see their great products. We're gonna go just to kind of do a full overview of their products. Really touch on the Teton and the Denali though, some of the crediting methods, things like that. But definitely one of the top selling products, in the industry right now are Silex products. So definitely want to have these in your pocket ready to use. So again, appreciate you all taking time out of your day. Tim, thanks for joining us. I'm just going to go through a few intro slides here. For those of you who don't know me, sorry for my hoarse voice today, some allergy problems, but my name's Laura Johnson. I've been on the annuity team here for about 6 years now, but altogether with IAMS, been with the company about 13, 14 years. Worked on the admin side for many years as well. So if you ever have anything that comes up, you need help on the annuity side, just don't know who to go to, call me. I'll figure it out for you. I'm going to go through a couple incentive programs here with you. For those of you who are maybe brand new to IAMS or considering joining IAMS, this would be something that you're eligible for. It's our new producer bonus. And with this, you got 6 months to qualify. As you can see on the screen, a lot of great marketing things that we provide, depending on the level you cash out at. So again, 6 months to apply or 6 months to qualify. Let's just say you do the 750,000 in 6 months. Well, we would pay for 8 recorded. You have your option: 8 recorded radio shows, pay for 2 Social Security seminars, $4,500 in digital lead credit, or pay for social media campaign, marketing campaign, and or anything below. So as you can see, just a really great opportunity. What we do with this is wanting to say, hey, we appreciate you. We want to help you start off the time with IAMS with helping you with some marketing, and we think it's a really great way to do that. So if you're curious where you stand on this, give your marketer at IAMS a call, and they will be happy to assist you in figuring that out. Once you're done with our new producer bonus program, we do move you into a marketing reimbursement program. So pretty much all the business you're writing here at IAMS is going to earn you some marketing dollars. So for indexed annuity premium, every 100,000, we just put $100 in your account. For every 100,000 of single premium life business, we do a lot of that wealth transfer business. That's $200. And for every 10,000 of life target premium, that would be $200 as well. So just again, all the premium you're writing, just earning those dollars so that when you pay for marketing expenses, you send in your receipt, and it's a reimbursement program. As you can see above that, we also have a referred producer program as well. If you've been in the industry any length of time, you know referrals are very important in your business, and they're very important in ours as well. So when you refer an agent over, maybe you're not looking to take on a hierarchy. So there can be a lot of risk with that. So you refer their agent over, $50 when they get contracted, $100 when they write their first piece of business. And then as you can see the breakdown there for all the business they write, you'll be earning a little bit of kickback on that. These checks are paid out quarterly. So, um, Charles and Steve love to sign these checks, knowing that, we're doing our job well and earning those referrals as well. So if you got someone in mind who might benefit from our services, just reach out to your marketer, pass that name along, and we'd love to help them as well. It's part of our name insurance agency marketing service. I really think that service is what we strive to be the best at. We're not looking to be your biggest FMO in the industry. We're looking to be number one when it comes to service. That means starting off by picking up the phone every time you call. If you call IAMS, you know that we answer the phone in 2 rings. You're always going to get a live person. We think that's really important. No voicemail, taking messages and passing them along. The reason we do that, it's a lot easier for if one of us is out of the office um, for something, then there's someone else here that can help you. You're not sitting there waiting for a week for me to call you back. So we think that's really important. We handle all the case design, getting you all your forms. Amber and her team do an amazing job. I think in the industry, top notch. from submission to commission support. I mean, that's scrubbing your apps. That's following up on your business every 3 to 5 business days. That's helping the carriers know, hey, let's helping them push things along. That's keeping you guys up to date what's going on so you can stay in the field. That is our strive. That is why people do business with us a lot of times, is what Amber and her team have put together. Really great system. We do, like I said, all your illustrations, and then we are on insurance based, so paperless contracting makes it easy um, to get appointed with carriers without having to do more paperwork every single time. We're really excited to let you know that we do have Firelight Access now available on our website. As you can see here, we need to update Equitable's name. Sorry, Tim. But you can see here we got almost all the carriers are on Firelight. The great thing about this is it's a single sign-on to the IAMS website, and you can do an e-app with any of these carriers. We think that's important. I mean, I hate remembering my passwords for all the different websites, so it's a lot easier when you can go one spot, sign in, and do the app there. The other nice thing is doing them on our website sends them to us for review prior to sending them to the home office. So that's a nice feature as well. And I'll tell you kind of about the website here in a minute and show you where that's at. If you haven't worked with our creative team, I encourage you to do so. Like I tell everyone, our creative services aren't free, but there's no cost if you're doing all your business here at IAMS. So Jacob and his team do a great job for our agents, whether it be a logo design, whether it be a website, maybe a social media campaign, or you're looking to do a funnel drip email marketing, or maybe you just want to do a postcard mailing or a newsletter. We have the team in-house to do all this internally. So we've got a team of people that's what they do all day, is come up with marketing stuff for our agents. So if you see a lot of the marketing packages we put out and you want something customized with your name and your logo, give the creative team a call or shoot them an email. You can also go out to IAMScreative.com, see their portfolio, see different websites they've built. Again, that's IAMScreative.com. Really great stuff out there. You can even submit a request right online. Our website is, as you can see on the screen, www.imsinc.com. A lot of great things. I'm not going to go bore you through the whole website, but I will tell you have access to a lot of great tools out here. You got term quoting and iPipeline for forms on the life insurance. On the annuity side, you've got access to Annuity Rate Watch. I use Annuity Rate Watch. I can't tell you how many times a day. If an agent calls me and says, hey, Laura, I got a 65-year-old needing income at 70, I go straight to the website to Annuity Rate Watch, and I can tell you exactly who's going to be the top income. So really great tools out there. Another one that a lot of people use is under the support tab, there's a sales resource library. Tons of great material out here. Client-facing presentations, materials. You got a client who says, hey, what's a fixed, I need to know more about annuities. What's a fixed index annuity? Well, there's a 10-page white paper out there on everything you need to know about an indexed annuity. There's a lot of great fact finders out there, financial calculators, marketing tips. So I encourage you to go check out that sales resource library. And then, as I said, we do have when you're logged in, you'll see an eApp Solutions tab. On there, you'll have access to Firelight, iGo eApp, as well as Connect for Medicare. So whether you're doing life, annuity, or Medicare here at IAMS, you have a one sign-on through our website to do all those applications. For those of you who don't know, we do have an RIA in this office as well. And as I talk about IAMS Wealth Management, I'm going to throw out the first poll question. So if anything I'm saying here intrigues you a little bit, go ahead and answer yes, and we'll get you out some information. But, when the DOL happened several years ago, obviously, it was that time where we had to jump into this space as well. So we do have a RIA. It's been around for several years now. Tons of advisors built up on there. And we've got two programs here. If you're looking to get your 65 or you have your 65 and you want to get registered, that's great. CFP, things like that. But we also, for our agents now, have a client portal or client program as well. So I've got lots of agents who maybe are getting to the end of their career, really don't want to go study for a 65, don't really want to do that. But, you go into a house and client has 500,000 and SILAC says they're only going to take 300. What are you going to do with that other 200,000? Because if you're not doing something with it, you're just leaving it on the table for another person to come in and swipe that up and potentially steal that client. So we thought it was important to add a client portion to this as well. So Zach Reed here in our office handles the client retention program. And what we do with that is if you've got a client who has that additional money, need a place for, you can refer them up to IAMS Wealth Management to Zach. He will, you'll refer him up and he'll handle that client. Now you know that the money's safe. It's here at IAMS. It's not going anywhere. No other advisor is going to get to it. A lot of agents have been referring clients up while they're studying as well, kind of building that AUM with Zach ahead of time, because when they pass their exam, those clients will get transferred right back, right over to that agent. So really a good way to kind of build it up as you're studying as well. The good news is, depending on the state you live in, there is a chance we can share a portion of the fee that's charged to the client. So way for you to make money on it as well. I will say there's probably a dozen states, maybe 20 states that we can pay out a little bit of that fee on. So it's kind of like a referral bonus. So if you're interested in either, potentially joining IAMS Wealth Management or again, having the information of where to refer clients to, go ahead and answer yes. And either Mike Hansen or Duncan will reach out to you following the webinar today and kind of get you connected with Zach or get you out the information on wealth management. I think it's a really important part of your business, though. We're seeing a lot of agents utilizing these programs. Okay, you're almost done with me, I promise, but I'm going to talk about some exciting stuff now. Number one, are excited now, so we're back to doing trips. We're super excited about this. Tim's going to tell you all about their trip, but we love to get in front of our producers, love to thank them for their business. So what we do is a top producer summit. It's an 18-month qualification. This one was technically 19 months, but started in December last year, and it runs through June of next year. So we've still got a year to qualify for this. 4.5 million trip credits gets you on the boat with a guest. And as you can see, it's going to be a nice Mediterranean cruise. A lot of great stops from Italy to Greece to Croatia. I mean, it's going to be a great event, all expense paid for you and a guest. And this is just a way for us to say thank you. Appreciate the partnership, appreciate, the relationship we've got with you. And it's just a good way for us to get you away from reality for a little bit and enjoy time with other producers and let us, kind of spoil you a little and say thank you. So if you're curious what your trip credits are or where you stand, reach out to your marketer, or anyone who answers the phone should be able to tell you where you stand on that. So really excited about it. It's been a while. We're excited to get back out traveling with agents again. And the last thing I'm going to mention before I hand it over to Tim is another thing we're excited about is we're back to doing live trainings. So many of you probably know, we used to do life and annuity academies 3 to 4 times a year, and the lovely pandemic put the halt on that for a good while. So we are excited to announce we did just put one on the calendar for end of September, 1st of October. We're going to bring in 30 to 40 agents. We are partnering on this one with Athene, so it'll be up at Athene's home office. There are some qualification requirements now. We've kind of edited it, but this isn't annuities 101. This isn't life insurance 101. This is in-depth sales concepts, tax strategies, advanced marketing things. We're going to be bringing in several of our top 10 producers. They're going to share their marketing plan with you, where they're having success through the pandemic, what they've had done to change things, what's working, what's not. The goal on this is to have you walk away knowing that we're going to help you grow your business and give you the tools to do it. So with that, I'm going to just throw this up real quick. If you are interested in getting the link, again, this is a pre-qualification. This doesn't guarantee a spot, as we are limited. The home offices also get a little say-so on who comes in. So if you are interested, though, go ahead and answer yes to that. And then we'll send you out a link following the webinar today in regards to with the registration link, our pre-qualification link, so you can get that sent over to us. But looks like we'll be having another one after. We'll probably have 2 of them, maybe 3 this year. So Really excited about it. A lot of agents have good feedback coming out of these meetings. We see a lot more production coming out of these meetings. So I think it's really important to get in front and do some in-depth training with you guys. So again, if you answer yes, we'll get you out that link later today. And then I'm going to hand it over to Tim. When Tim's done, I'm going to throw up one more poll question in regards to if you need information on what we cover today. And then all of you will get an email from Haley in my office with a recording of today's webinar, as well as some product information if you answer yes. So with that, Tim, sorry I took a little longer than expected. I'm going to hand it over to Tim Swoboda. Like I said, he is our contact over at SILAC. Does a great job helping it get things expedited, answer questions, So with that, Tim, I'm going to hand it on over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Laura. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. We are going to go over a couple things today. Not only we're going to go over our product overview, but I have some exciting news to really show everybody about our promise, commitment, our transparency, and our consistent approach with our awesome renewals. We have really shown on Teton and also the first round of Denali renewals that are coming up here in I think a month or two. So anyways, we got a packed webinar, but first, for anybody that's new to SILAC, I think it's great. You gotta, really know the company or know the person before you're gonna do business with, right? So here's just a little overview of SILAC. 2017 was a big shift. Even though this company was founded in 1935, Equitable is the name, in 2017 was the big pivot point. That's where we really started to focus on asset accumulation products like annuities. 2018 was the very first year we launched our MYGA. I said a couple key words at the beginning: consistency, transparency. We really proved ourselves being consistent, and we kept a 4% compound rate in 2018 for our MYGA. 2019 was another fabulous year. We launched our first FIA, the Teton series. We also launched the Atlas Index, which I know a lot of folks love. And then 2020, we launched the lifetime income product Denali, the no-fee income product that is just hitting the industry hard. Phenomenal product. We're going to talk about that later. And in 2021, we launched the CS Raven Pack. So really, we are here to grow, okay? And we're doing that by not only focusing on products, but indices, really capturing unique solutions to help you and your clients using SILAC. Now, here's where we rank, okay? So if you remember that slide, we only entered the annuity marketplace in 2018, okay? We are ranked number 5. We are a top 5 company for FIA sales, and then overall FI sales in all channels were ranked number 7, all right? That's a big, big deal for a company just starting up for 2018 with a MYGA. More importantly, focused on FIAs since 2019. I think we've done a phenomenal job, and if you haven't done business with us yet, I think you'll be calling Laura or somebody on her team to get appointed right away. We are a B+ rated company with a positive outlook. We are going to be sitting with AM Best again this year, and we are really pushing for another upgrade. So you may be seeing that in the very near future. So keep an eye out for that. Now, I want to begin with just a real quick overview on our MYGA series. So our MYGA series, we have the Secure Savings and Secure Savings Elite. All right, we offer a 2- and 5-year version on both those chassis. The Secure Savings, it can be written up to age 90. All right, the Secure Savings Elite goes up to age 85. And we have a number of different liquidity options, which really gives us that competitive edge in the MYGA space. Take a look. On the Secure Savings, like I said before, we have a 2- and 5-year chassis. So the guaranteed rate on the 2 years, 175.27 on the 5. Now, on the Secure Savings line, the free withdrawals are built in automatic. All right, and the death benefit is account value, and we offer spousal continuation on all of our products. So keep that in mind. So the rates are a little bit lower on Secure Savings, but on the Secure Savings Elite, you're going to see that the rates are a little bit higher. 215 on the 2-year, 295 on the 5-year. Why is that? Well, we took out the free withdrawals on the Elite. We said, hey, what if a client doesn't need it? What if they just want the highest rate possible? So I kind of look at the Secure Savings Elite as our Build-A-Bear option, right? So if a client wants a 5% penalty-free withdrawal, they can have that. It's a 0.06 rate reduction. Okay, it's not a fee, it's just a rate reduction. They can add all three of those at the bottom of your screen. They can add none. But here's the deal. If they add all three of those, guess what? They not only have the greatest of one withdrawal, they have the ability to draw almost 15% out of that contract because they get the 5%, they get accumulated interest, and they get the RMD. All right. That is a big, big deal. So again, we have liquidity options if needed. If you want a fully loaded product, go with the secure savings. If you want to pick and choose and get the highest rate, the Elite is the player for that. Now there is our MIGA series. Not too exciting. It's a MIGA, right? But our Teton product, that's where I really want to get to. Our Teton, as I mentioned before, was our very first FIA. We wanted to keep things clean and simple. So what we did with the Teton series is we focused on the traditional FIA accumulation. We have a 7, 10, 14-year version. We have a bonus and non-bonus. So we really packed your quiver with a bunch of arrows on the Teton series. Now on the Teton product, not only can the 7-year, all right, this is kind of cool. The 7-year can go up to age 90. That is pretty rare in the FIA space right now. But on the Teton series, we have a cumulative withdrawal feature. Now it starts out with a 5% free withdrawal after the first contract year. If the client doesn't take any withdrawals, it can accumulate up to a maximum of 30%. So again, we got accumulation focused with liquidity. That could be a big deal for some folks that just want to focus on accumulation. And hey, maybe 6, 7 years later, they want to take that 30% because they haven't taken a withdrawal. You can do that on Teton. Here are the basics. Like I said, the 7-year, it goes up to age 90. 10, 85, 14 is age 80. The minimum premium is $10,000, but we do allow for additional premiums in the first 12 months. All you need is to submit that additional premium form with the premium coming in. And if it's a replacement or transfer, obviously we need those forms as well, but we do allow for it. Now, when you add additional premium to the Teton series, the additional premium sits in the fixed bucket until policy anniversary. Then it will be reallocated appropriately. Also, you as the agent will get paid commission on that additional premium. And if the client is in one of the bonus products, that additional premium also receives the bonus. Now, the max premium on our Teton series is $1 million. I know probably many of you have some clients that say, hey, look, I want to put $2 million in this. Can you accept it? Submit that large case form. We accept large cases all the time. It's a 2 to 3 day response time. So kind of give us some leeway on that because we do have to run it through the appropriate channels, but we will get back to you, okay? And we accept those large cases all the time, but we do need that form prior to submitting that application. Now, the rates for Teton. Take a look at this. If you are familiar with just a plain Jane accumulation style annuity, you might have fallen out of your chair. I hope that's not the case, but look at some of these rates. 2.5 on the fixed rate on the 14, 2.25 on the 10, 2% on a 7-year contract for the fixed rate. But not only that, look at some of those par rates on the annual point-to-point with the S&P 500, 30, 40%. Look at Atlas and Ravenpack. Awesome, awesome strategies. We have a global index offering 90 all the way up to 110%. Ravenpack from 95 to 115. But you see those blue numbers there on the 14-year contract? We have something special with SILAC. We have what's called a boost strategy. Okay, and the way the boost strategy works is, let's say, for example, the client was in the Teton 14 and they were in the Ravenpack boost. You see that 0.75? Let's say the Ravenpack index was up 6%. Your client is going to get 6.75. You're just adding to it. Let's say the index was down 0.25 and they were in that same boost strategy. Your client would walk away with 0.50 interest credit. So we can turn those negatives into a positive. That is something truly unique with SILAC. It's awesome. So pay attention when you're running those illustrations. Look at that boost strategy, but also look at all of our other strategies. I think we have very competitive rates. On the bonus, check this out. I want to pay close attention to the Teton Bonus 7. All right. It is age banded. So 0 to 80 is 5%, 81 to 90 is 2.5. On the 10 and the 14, it's a straight 7%. And no, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. That is a 10% bonus on the 14. All right, followed up by some pretty competitive rates. Now, yeah, they're not as high as the regular product. Why is that? Well, we're giving you a bonus, okay? So we have it all on the Teton. If you're looking, if a client wants a jump start with a bonus, we got that. If your client wants a 7-year contract, we got that. So whether it's long-term, short-term, in the middle, we have you covered with Teton on an accumulation style annuity with liquidity built in with that 30% cumulative withdrawal feature. Now let's look at just a simple case study. I don't want to pay spend a lot of time on this, but let's just take a look at just how the accumulation can really look like, or really perform on the Teton series. So we're looking at 100,000 going in on the 14. We're not taking any withdrawals. And to be fair, I love Raven Pack and Atlas, but I wanted to really show performance with another strategy. So we're looking at the monthly cap, and we're going to blend it with the Atlas annual point-to-point participation rate. Check this out. Now, when you run an illustration with SILAC, here's what you're going to see, all right? This is directly from our illustration software. Let's first point out the top right-hand corner, 6.80 annual effective rate. What is that? Well, let me tell you. All that is, that's just the average of the first 10 years. But look at the powerful performance opportunity that is illustrated here by those two strategies working together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 years of double-digit returns. That is awesome. So when we look at that, that can drive a lot of accumulation. But take a look at the numbers, right? After 10 years, we put in 100,000. It's now 193. 15, 277. And at the end of 20, 372,000. Accumulation, simple, clean to understand for a client. That is Teton wrapped up in a nutshell. Especially don't forget about that cumulative withdrawal feature. Now that was Teton. Now we get to the exciting product. I mean, when Denali was launched, we hit the ground running. Everybody loved Denali. We're going to talk about it, but first let's understand the basics of Denali. It is not only an income indexed annuity, but it's also focused on accumulation. There again, we have a 7, 10, and 14-year version with a bonus and non-bonus. We have some really strong caps and rates, which we're going to look at just a minute. But with Denali, we offer lifetime withdrawals. We offer wellness withdrawals that are ADL triggered, and this comes to the client at no charge. There is no fee for our income rider product, Denali with SILAC, all right? Pretty cool. We're gonna understand just how that works in just a minute. But here are the basics. On the 7-year contract, it goes up to age 90. Tim, can you have the income rider at age 90? Yes. Tim, can you have the wellness withdrawal benefit at age 90? Yes, all right? Max issue age on the 7 is 90. 85 is for the 10, 80 is for the 14. Pretty much the same as Teton. We have the minimum premium at 10. We do allow additional premiums in the first 12 months, just like Teton. And then our maximum premium is $1 million. But don't forget about the large case form if you're looking at exceeding that $1 million in max premium. So pretty simple on the basics, okay? Pretty much the same as Teton. But let's talk about the lifetime withdrawals, all right? Because that's really the other focus on Denali. When we looked at other income rider products, we saw that there could be confusion, especially when the client's looking at what their account value may be doing. It could be going down because fees are eroding it, right? Or they have an account value, then they have this income account value, and they're really not sure which is what. That's not Denali at all. Everything is based upon the account value. So we like to say with Denali, the client's money is real. It's their money all the time, because whether it's their account growing or whether it's the lifetime income, everything is based off of the account value with Denali, which allows us to not have restrictions. So there's no maximum roll-up term, there's no benefit cap, okay? Now, what we do have though is we have a 1-year waiting period before income can be turned on, all right? But with everything linked to the account value and not having these restrictions, and the benefits are real all the time, we like to say step up is real. We've talked about step up in our industry. I know I have for a long time, but have we ever seen it? when your roll-up rate is 6% and your cap is 3%? Probably not, right? Well, with Denali, okay, step up is real. And we're gonna look at an illustration and just how step up works and how it can perform for your clients. Now, when we calculate lifetime income, this is a really hard calculation. No, I'm just kidding. It's super, super simple, okay? All it is, it's the account value times the lifetime withdrawal percentage based upon whether it's a single or joint payout, okay, and the age in which the client is initiating the lifetime income. Pretty simple. Account value times lifetime withdrawal percentage. That's easy. Again, we like to focus on keeping things clean and simple. We did that just with Denali, especially by linking everything to the account value. Now let's talk about wellness withdrawals, because that's another key feature on Denali. So again, our wellness withdrawals, they are linked to the ADLs, or activities of daily living. So for those of you who don't know what the ADLs are, I think of them as a bed contract. It's BEDCTT, bathing, eating, dressing, continence, toileting, transferring. Those are your 6 activities of daily living. If a client cannot perform 2 out of the 6 activities of daily living, the client's lifetime income will be doubled on a single payout, or 1.5 times on a joint, and it will pay that out for a maximum of 5 years. After the 5 years is up, it'll revert back to the original lifetime income amount and continue to pay out for the rest of the client's life. That's the wellness withdrawal, okay? Now on the wellness withdrawal, there is a 2-year wait before that can be initiated, okay? So before a client can turn on the wellness withdrawal benefit, there is a 2-year wait for that feature on Denali. Now take a look at some of these rates. If you thought Teton had some pretty impressive rates, look at Denali. And you're gonna see on the top of your screen, rates effective May 19th. Have we changed rates since then? No, we haven't. These are still the current rates, okay? So a 3% fixed rate on a 14, 2.5 on a 7. I mean, look at the par rates for the S&P 500, 40, 45%. And don't forget about Atlas and Ravenpack, over 100% par rates across the board on Denali. That could lead to some pretty impressive accumulation, which could also lead to some nice looking income for that client. Now on the bonus, pay close attention to the bonus, okay? All of the bonuses are age banded on Denali. So for example, on the 7-year, 0 to 80 is 5, 81 to 90 is 2.5, all the way on the 14, on the far right, 0 to 70 is 10%, 71 to 80 is 5. But it's still followed up with some pretty impressive caps and rates. I mean, if you look at the Denali bonus, 2.2 on a 14, you're looking at 2.25 on the fixed rate with a 10% bonus, 0 to 70, and over 100% par rate on Ravenpack. I mean, look, we got you covered again, whether you need a bonus, a short-term or a long-term, or a non-bonus product on an income rider product, especially one without a fee, we got you with Denali. Now you may be thinking, all right, Tim, how did you guys do this, right? How did you make these caps and rates high? How are you offering this no-fee income rider, this, that, and the other, right? Well, we're gonna talk about that. And this isn't a bad thing, okay? Because as we know, pretty much all products, they have surrender charges. We do the surrender charges a little bit different, and we're going to compare that to a normal product that has fees taken out and really show you how it falls in line. So really the magic was, again, keeping everything linked to the account value, all right? So that single engine driver is the account value. We don't have that 30% cumulative withdrawal feature on Denali, so that gets added back into the product. But instead of dragging down all the benefits, we created a unique interest and bonus recovery structure. Now, this only applies if the client decides to leave early or takes an excess withdrawal. That's it. So it's client driven. Okay, that's simple. Let's take a look at just how it works. We're going to look at an example. Let's say the client was in a 7-year product, they put in 100,000 and their account value grew to 115. And the client said, look, I want my money. I want to buy an RV and I'm going to drive across the United States. Okay, yeah, you can do that. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, there is a withdrawal charge. The withdrawal charge only applies to the premium or the money the client brought to the table. So in year 4, 10% of 100,000, which is what the client put in this product, that would be a $10,000 withdrawal charge. Now, the interest and bonus recovery, we are going to take back 85% of any interest earned. So that 15,000 that the client earned, we're going to take 85% of that as a recovery. Okay. Cash value, if the client wanted to walk away at year 4, $92,250. You may be scratching your head saying, all right, that's not very good. Well, really, here's the comparison. On the blue line, there's your Teton product. Okay. So if a client's thinking about leaving early, Denali's not their play. Teton is, because it offers a higher surrender charge value in the early years. But the gray line, okay, that's your typical index annuity with a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit, and it has a fee. Notice that the green line for Denali does not go below the gray line. So we are right in line. So when you talk about that, and when a client is asking you, compare an apple to an apple, look at the cash surrender values across the board, I have a feeling you're going to see that our cash surrender value could be higher, if not very close to what the other products are offering. It's not that bad. We just do things different to really boost the value of the annuity contract. All right, now let's take a look at how Denali works with some case studies. The first one I'm going to point out is just a 14-year product. We're just going to do a simple illustration, which many of you probably run already. We're just going to defer income for 10 years. We're going to look at that same monthly point-to-point with cap and the Atlas annual point-to-point par rate. Okay, let's take a look. Here's what you're going to see when you run an illustration. Look at that annual effective rate, 8.24. Again, what is that? That's just the average of the first 10 years, but look at that awesome opportunity. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of double-digit returns. Now, remember, we put in $100,000. We are deferring income for 10 years. Everything is linked to the account value. So you're not going to see a lifetime income value, right, on this illustration. Everything is linked to the account value. So the account value at the end of 10 years is $226.63. We apply the appropriate payout percentage, boom. The client's going to start receiving $11,585. Don't forget about the wellness benefit. So if they couldn't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs, and this is a single payout example, that income would double. But look at what happened after we started income. Okay, the client started income, they took out $11,585. Our account value at that time was $220. We got a pretty good interest credit, and our account value grew to $223. Wow. So what does that mean? Well, the client now has higher income. This happens automatically with Denali. So with that higher account value and that growing account value, the new income for the client for the next year is $11,712. That is step up. That is the opportunity with Denali. But also take a look at this. If we go all the way out to age 80, all right, and I know we haven't started income for a while, but we had step up this and that. But we started this contract with $100,000. At age 80, the account value, the client's money, the account value is $280. We withdrew $136,000 from this contract. That means at age 80, we had a total benefit of almost $420,000. That is impressive, okay? Especially with an income rider product, to have an account value that's still growing that could be increasing the client's income. Pretty cool story with Denali. But let's challenge it. Let's say, hey, how does the 7-year compete? Maybe the 14 is not available in my state. Maybe my client doesn't like 10-year products. Maybe they like short-term products. Well, let's challenge it. Let's do the exact same thing on Denali with the 7-year contract. But this time, I want to focus on just how Atlas and RavenPack can work beautiful together. So again, we have the annual effective rate up there, 7.89. We have some phenomenal interest credits. Remember, with Denali, everything is linked to the account value. We are deferring income for 10 years. So at the end of 10 years, and remember, folks, this is a 7-year contract, okay? 7-year contract. Our account value is $213. We started taking income, boom, $11,754. Don't forget about the wellness benefit, right? If it's needed. But guess what? We also can see step up on the 7-year as well. Our account value grew. Our client's income is now, the very next year in this illustration, $12,262. But the story gets better because why? At age 80, we started taking income at age 71, right? At age 80, our account value is $254,586. Remember, we started this contract with $100,000. It's now $254,586, and we've been taking income. We took out $134. Total benefit is almost $390,000. So again, whether it's long-term or short-term products, Denali has you covered and can provide some phenomenal results, whether it's accumulation, income, or both blended together. Now, we get asked this quite a bit, okay? And really, this is designed to make you think outside the box a little. But I know I've seen a client like this, and I know I get asked this all the time. Which one's better? Because I have a client that not only wants lifetime income, but he also wants liquidity. And that's kind of a head scratcher, right? Because Teton can really focus on the liquidity needs if he needs it later on, and Denali can focus on the lifetime income. So what do? Well, we always don't have to look at one product. We can choose both. The client had $500,000. Why don't we split it? So we can put $250 in Teton. That will satisfy the client's need for the cumulative withdrawals, but also Denali can satisfy the client with lifetime withdrawals and the wellness withdrawals. Take a look at how these work together. So again, the client had $500,000. He was worried about liquidity and he wanted lifetime income. Let's look at the Teton 14. We put $250 in. At the end of year 6, his account value would have grown to $387,933. If he didn't take a withdrawal out, that 30% cumulative withdrawal is available to him. Boom, $116,000 he could take out of that contract. Now look at Denali. If he wanted income after 5 years, almost 20. After 10, almost 33. And if he really wanted to stretch it out all the way to age 80, almost $98,000. So again, we don't always have to pick one product. We can choose 2 of them. Yeah, it's an extra set of paperwork, but it really helps out, and these 2 products work very well together. Now, I want to end on the case studies and product overview because I do want to talk about our proprietary indices just for a little bit. Atlas was our very first proprietary index. It's with Barclays that we brought to the table. Here's where the focus was. We love the S&P 500, okay? We absolutely love it. But when we asked ourselves, does the S&P really focus on the world? And the question that comes up is the US the world's largest economy? And when we looked at this, we said, well, the answer is actually no, it's not, okay? Because it represents only 24% of the global GDP. So we said, if we could do something better that focuses across the globe to really drive performance, shouldn't we take a look at that? And the answer was yes. So with Atlas, what Atlas does, it not only looks at the S&P 500, it looks at the NASDAQ, the German Stock Exchange, the Eurozone, the IKEA, emerging markets. It is a volatility control index with a 5% target volatility, and it controls that by bonds, okay? It not only looks at the US bonds, but EU and also Japanese bonds as well. It is a global driver. Quite simply, this is how it works, all right? It's a 4-step process. It looks at all of those different components we just saw on the screen earlier, and it looks at a risk-reward profile. And then it selects the best allocation based upon that risk versus reward analysis that can't exceed that 5% target volatility mark. But this is key, number 3 and 4, okay? Number 3 and 4 are key with Atlas because a lot of indices out there, they look at historical data. And we know historical data is great to look at, but history does not always repeat itself. So with Atlas, it looks at trends and momentum. Now, I didn't do the best in physics class, but what I do remember is if a ball starts rolling downhill, it's going to keep rolling until something stops it. That's the trending and momentum data that Atlas works with to really catch those waves and ride those waves as long as they can before they crash and jump to the next best one. That is Atlas, all right? A global powerhouse that can look at all those different components and really does that off of a trending and momentum daily cycle. But better yet, it can rebalance itself daily, which is huge. So if it needs to make a change, it can make a change on the spot. That is key with Atlas. Now, just a recap, there are no fees for Atlas, okay? For more information, you can go visit that Barclays website. And even though we have some awesome par rates of over 100%, those are all one-year strategies. They're not 2 years, they're all one-year strategies. So your clients don't have to wait to see if they got an interest credit or not. All of our strategies are one-year strategies. Now let's talk about our newest index, just real quick, our CS Ravenpack AI. Now this one is unique, okay, because it not only complements the S&P 500, but it also complements Atlas. We don't want to create internal competition. And when we looked at this, we said, look, we need to make sure something can adapt quickly to really focus on accumulation. And that is what CS Ravenpack does. What CS Ravenpack looks at, it looks at the S&P 500, okay? But it looks at all of those companies that are in the S&P 500, and it allocates them into sectors, those 11 sectors you see on your screen there. And it picks 4 sectors a quarter based upon what we call sentiment value. What is sentiment value? Sentiment value is, the easiest way to describe it is either a thumbs up or thumbs down emoji. CS Ravenpack scours the internet and looks at all of these news articles and it says, hey, is this positive news or negative news? Because what we have found out through a number of studies is that sentiment value is a better driver and predictor of market performance. So that's what CS Ravenpack is doing. It's looking at all these different companies and looking at accredited news articles, whether it's positive or negative news. The best sectors with the most positive news and the least volatility get picked. There's 4 of them each quarter. Now it is a target volatility control index, and it does that by looking at a 2-year and also a 10-year treasury. We're going to take a look at the 4 steps and then look at an example on just how simple and how much sense Ravenpack actually makes. So again, like I said, the first step, it's going to calculate the sentiment score. Then it's going to calculate the sector score based upon all of those companies in the appropriate sector, and it's going to pick 4 of them, all right? And then it's going to adjust for volatility. Pretty simple, all right? Here's an example. We all lived through this, but this is what CS Ravenpack did in 2020. So in December of 2019, it was already looking, all right? It is forward thinking. It's not just going to do it day 1 of Q1, right? It's going to look forward thinking. So in December of 2019, it's looking and says, hey, we need to be in information technology, healthcare, financials, communication. But if y'all remember what happened between Q1 and Q2, guess what? COVID was hitting, right? Things were starting to shut down. There's no surprise why healthcare was the #1 sector, okay? Communication, why do we need communication? Well, most people were working from home. They're doing Zoom calls. Consumer staples, energy was in there, right? Okay, I mean, it made sense, but take a look. It continues to make sense because remember, we're still in lockdown mode. Q3 happened, information technology, consumer discretionary. Who went to the store, right? People were getting Amazon deliveries brought to their house. Consumer staples was still there. Why? Because people were still, if they were going to Costco and Sam's, they were buying everything out. But materials, why did materials come up? Well, if you went to Home Depot or Lowe's and you wanted to buy a paintbrush, you probably couldn't. Everybody was doing projects around their house. And then in Q4, healthcare jumped up. Vaccines were starting to be created. Communication was key. Consumer staples and materials were still in the 4 sectors that CS Ravenpack was allocated in. We can truly look at this and say, yeah, I lived through that. That makes sense, right? That's what Ravenpack does, and it does that off of that sentiment value. Now, here's some highlights for Ravenpack, all right? This index was not just created out of a hat. It was actually live in 2017. Again, these are all 1-year strategies. For more information, go to that website for the Credit Suisse. They do an awesome job explaining it in very great detail. And again, no fees for either Atlas or Ravenpack. Now, we have some pretty cool products, but I want to focus on this, all right? You can have the best products, you can have the best caps and rates, but let's look at performance. In 2020, okay, look at where some of these custom indexes stood. We had the top 2 custom indexes, all right, with Ravenpack and Atlas. That's pretty impressive. So not only do we think we have some awesome products, but we have some pretty cool and very strong performing custom indexes with Ravenpack and Atlas. Now I want to kind of switch the focus because this is really important. We talk a lot about, okay, Ravenpack and Atlas, this and that, but we need to also make sure that we don't overlook the S&P 500 or our other indexing strategies, because they could also provide some very powerful performance. Let's take a look. So I want to look at the S&P 500. All right, yeah, it was created back in 1957. It's based upon market capitalization, and it really, this is surprising, it captures 80% of the market cap, okay? Now, everybody knows the S&P 500. It probably shows up on your screen. If you mention it to somebody, they're probably familiar with it, okay? But let's take a look at just how important this could be for an annuity contract. So if we look back from 2019 to 2020, the S&P was doing a great job, right? It was increasing very steadily. Everybody was smiling. Everybody was happy, right? But boom, look what happened in March because of COVID. It fell, and it fell like a rock, right? It fell very quickly. In March 23rd of 2019, the value was 2,800. And in March 23rd of 2020, the value was 2,237. Now, if your client was inside of an annuity, guess what? 0 is your hero, and they wouldn't have suffered anything, right? But if they weren't, well, they probably got hit. But let's look at this from an annuity standpoint. Policyholders with that anniversary date got zeros, all right? And we don't have any fees, which takes them backwards. So they just got 0. But let's fast forward one more year from 2020 to 2021. So just as fast as the S&P fell, it recovered, right? It recovered very strong. Now on March 23rd of 2020, like I said before, the close value was 2237. But guess what it was for the 23rd of 2021? 3910. What does that mean? That was a gain of 75%. Folks, this is no joke. We have seen policies that had interest credits of 20, 30, 41% was the highest interest credit, all right, we placed on a policy because somebody was diversified and placed in the par rate for the S&P 500. So don't overlook the S&P. It can also be a very powerful performance index as well. So I just want to bring that to your attention, okay? We have a bunch of indices. Look at them all. If you have your favorite, that's great, but don't just focus on Atlas and Ravenpack because the S&P can also perform. Now, as a wrap up, so like I said, the S&P is more volatile because we don't have a target volatility on the S&P 500, unlike Atlas and Ravenpack, but like I said, it can lead to some very strong performance. Now, the exciting part, all right? We have some pretty cool and pretty strong first-year rates. And many people have said, hey, how is SILAC going to keep up with this? What are they going to do for renewals? Well, here's some fun facts about Teton, all right? We printed over 1.1 million pages for policy prints. We've credited over $90 million in interest, all right? Pretty cool stuff about Teton. But let's look at the most important part. So on Teton Bonus 14, here were the first-year rates. We followed them up with some pretty strong renewals on year 2. Yes, some of them went up, some of them went down, but it's not because our budget changed, it's because volatility in the market changed and we couldn't buy the same. But in year 3, when volatility stabilized, those are the renewals that we came out with, all right? We kept the promise and we made the promise. And on Denali, this is a big one. Year 2 or year 1, year 2, boom, we have those renewals, okay? So when you think about SILAC, we're in it for longevity. We want to be transparent. We want to be consistent. And I think we did that by showing these renewals right here. Now, as a follow-up, I know Laura got everybody excited with the IAMS trip. Hopefully ours is just exciting. We are doing a Japan trip. So from 7/1 of 2020 to 12/31 of 2021, that's the qualification period. It's $5 million. We're taking the top 60 producers. Those are the dates. That's how it works. And I'm going to turn it back over to Laura here to see if there are any questions regarding SILAC and what we covered today.
Yeah, I don't see that. We had one question that did come in, and it was in regards to Denali in California. And so it's not yet approved there. Hopefully, we'll see it there before too terribly long. But other than that, that was the only question that did come up. Um, what I can say about SILAC, I mean, it's been a consistent story. I mean, between the S&P, the Raven Pack, and the Barclays, you have a great diversification options. And we're seeing a lot of great returns coming out of this. I'm going to throw the last poll question up. If you're interested, if you're not already appointed with um, SILAC, or you just want to see the information on SILAC, if you just go ahead and answer yes to the question, then I will have Haley in my office send you out the marketing materials for both Denali and Teton, and then we'll get you out the contracting link as well. SILAC has their own contracting portal, so we'll get that out to you as well. So if you go ahead and answer yes to that, that'll generate a note to me to have my assistant get that done for you. Looks like one other.
I don't see that poll question up. I think my screen is still here. So
Let me take it back.
there you go.
Now, okay, there you go. Someone asked about processing times. Do you want to touch on kind of what your guys' processing times are right now on the new business front, since you guys have got an influx of business right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So with our processing times, these are our time frames we want to stay going by. So it's 1 to 2 days. Typically, we like to get everything entered in the system within 24 hours. Okay, so that means if you submit a paper app or a Firelight app, it's going to be entered on what we call our intake system within 1 to 2 days. From there, it's 1 to 3 days for initial scrub. Typically, we're right around 2 days right now for an initial scrub. That means we have a new business manager look at the application, figure out if there's any missing items, or if we put it in what's called a NIGO, not in good order status, or if it is in good order. Once the business is in good order, if it's a application with check, it'll go for final review, okay, which is a 1 to 2 day process time to be approved. If it is a transfer, the transfer will not go out unless the application is in good order. So that is always key. Now, for those cases, we know that some companies have windows where funds need to be moved in a certain amount of time. There is a special notes instruction on the application. Please let us know if that is one of those cases, because we don't know if you don't tell us, okay? So if it is one of those cases where there is a time frame before it gets renewed automatically, we need to know that ahead of time so we can get that out and process that quicker. Now, if a new business application goes into a not in good order status, all right, unfortunately, we cannot accept anything via email. So please do not ask if we can submit corrections via email. They can be faxed to our office, they can be mailed, or the most common method is they can be uploaded using the agent portal. All right, you will get a confirmation code that it's been uploaded successfully. The turnaround time on that is 1 to 4. Now, I know 4 days sounds like a long time, but here's where we're working at. We are growing, and we're working at expanding our new business force. Okay, we are hiring new individuals, which hopefully that gets us down. But we don't want to delay looking at new applications and making sure those that come in good order get processed quicker. So there's kind of a give and take there. So I don't want that to discourage anybody, but that's where we're at, just to be upfront and transparent about that. We approve and pay commissions daily, okay? But we only issue FIAs on Wednesday, okay, for buy dates. So Wednesday is our buy date. So that means your policy has to be in good order, funds received on before Tuesday or on Tuesday, so it can be issued on Wednesday, okay? A policy does not have to be issued to trigger a commission. That is based upon approval, and we do that each and every day.
Perfect. Nope. I think that answered that question. And as all of you who are doing business with IAMS know, as you know, you can since we can't email documents, you can always email them to IAMS, email them over directly to Lori, who's our case manager for SILAC. She can upload them directly to their website as well. And then, as you know, Lori, Amber, and her team following up on this business on a daily basis. In regards to this, but processing times are things that happen, and that's kind of their guideline or kind of their time frame right now. And so know that SILAC and IAMS working diligently to get your business issued as soon as possible.
Hey, Laura, I do want to mention one other thing because this has been extremely helpful. I know for many producers out there, if you're unsure of a replacement case, because whether it be a surrender charge or you're replacing the income rider, we have a pre-suitability form that's available to all of our agents that are appointed. You can fill that form out. You can email that form to our new business team. Now, this is a pre-suitability check form, okay? What's going to happen is our suitability managers are going to review it. They're going to look at the case. Now, it will help if you submit the most recent statement with that pre-suitability form, and they're going to review it, and they're going to let you know if we can or can't accept it based upon our suitability parameters. If we can accept it, this is where it becomes really helpful. You will get that signed form back from our office, and then you will also get a list of items needed that you will need to submit with the application so it doesn't go into a not in good order status. So take advantage of that pre-suitability form. If there's any questionable cases where you're like, I'm not sure if SILAC will take this or not, submit it in. The turnaround time is typically 24 hours. The longest I've seen is about 48. Now, if you do have a trust situation, it could take a little bit longer just because it has to be reviewed by our legal department.
And if you have a case you're wondering about, again, that form is just signed by the agent, which is really nice. Or it's not even signed, I don't think. It's just filled out by the agent, so you don't actually have to meet with the client initially. And if you get that over to me, I'll get with Tim. We'll get Tim and I'll email it to new business, CC Tim on it, and we'll kind of handle that for you. So I can attest that the time frame on that. Sometimes I've heard back. I submit it in the afternoon today, and sometimes I'll have the answer by the time I get in here tomorrow. So they usually are really good turnarounds on that. So if you do have a questionable case, just give me a call. I'll help you through that process and get you out that form. But with that, if we don't have any other questions that haven't come in, I would just want to say thank you to everyone again for joining Tim and I today, and have a great Thursday. Thanks, Tim.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura.
Have a good day.